What's up, guys? What's going on? It is a Easter Sunday evening. I just pulled out of the office. It's about 7:45. My schedule's kind of flip-flopped around today. I don't know if y'all saw the video. Actually, I don't know if I ever posted that video, so probably nobody saw it. I went to Atlanta on Thursday. I took my wife down there. She had a volleyball tournament. And then I had timed a meeting with a very large $1 billion, that's with a B, $1 billion valuation national contract that we're looking at getting. It's a company that provides dumpsters and trash solutions for retail businesses and restaurants and small businesses and manufacturing facilities and all across the country. So I timed my meeting. I knew I was going to be down there. I needed to take her, so I timed my meeting so I could take her down there. It's about an hour and 50-minute flight from Raleigh to Atlanta, compared to her volleyball club. They were going to take a bus, or she could get an airline. It's still going to be much longer on an airline by the time you check in and get through security and all that kind of bullshit. So we flew down into Peachtree to Cobb Airport. We did our meeting. We went to the Atlanta Braves opening day game. They beat the Phillies, and then I flew back that night. She stayed. And they did well in their volleyball tournament, but they came up a little short. Had they won this morning, she'd have rode the bus back, because they were in the gold bracket. Had they won this morning, they would have gone on and they'd play the championship game, which didn't start until 4 o'clock. And anyway, she would have rode the bus back in that case. But they wound up losing, so I went down there and I kind of flip-flopped my day around. I went down there and I picked her up and brought her back. She went on and she did a couple private lessons this evening. And then now I'm getting ready. We're heading to go pick her up, and we're going to go grab a steak dinner. So that's what I'm always talking about is being a business owner. You don't expect to have a traditional schedule. If you want great success, if you want to have success, you're not going to have a traditional Monday through Friday schedule. I work 7 days a week, but I make my schedule work for me. So we did our Easter stuff yesterday. I was off for a couple hours for that with my family. And spent some time with them, did Easter lunch. Then today I was able to fly down, pick up my wife from Atlanta, still get my work done. We got back around 1 o'clock. I played around with the dog, grabbed lunch, and then I headed into the office. And I'm leaving right now about 7:45. We're going to head to Longhorn. So that's the great thing about entrepreneurship and business ownership. It is a lot of work. It's going to be probably more work, or at least as much work as working for somebody else. This fallacy of being a successful business owner and not working very much and all that kind of stuff. Look at this guy. I'm sitting here at a four-way stop and he's just sitting here stopped. I'm saying look at him. Y'all can't see him, but ridiculous. Go on, dude. So make your schedule work for you, but you got to be working all the time to make yourself a success. So what I want to talk today on, and what this video is titled for, hopefully y'all stuck around these 3 minutes, is researching your competition. That is something a lot of people do, especially when they first start. And you've got to be careful, because you can actually get zoned in on so much on what your competition is doing that you're not paying attention to the stuff you need to be getting done in your business. However, there are good reasons to research your competition. Sam Walton founded Walmart. He was notorious for taking a tape recorder, like a voice recorder, and he would go into Kmart's. They'd go on these family vacations in their station wagon, and the family always talked about they'd have to stop at every competitor's in between where they left from and where their destination was. So any Kmart that came in between, he'd stop at Walmart's too, but any Kmart that came in between, at the time, Woolworths had some sort of a large discount chain. There was a handful of them, and I can't remember them all. It's listed in his biography. The Sam Walton biography, I think it's called American Made, but anyway, it's the Sam Walton biography. Excellent read. Excellent read. If you get a chance to read it. But he'd always stop in his competition, and he'd look and see, what are they pricing their items at? How are they displaying their merchandise? Walmart, back when they first were founded, was very creative on how they display their merchandise. They'd have this huge wall of Tide. So, I mean, they would have Tide detergent that you would wash your clothes in, and they would stack it all the way to the ceiling, just this massive pyramid of Tide. And they did all kinds of crazy stuff to really promote their products. They did 3-for-1 women's panties sale. Walton built this trailer, and he put like 7-foot sides on it, like a junk removal trailer. Like when people first start out, they put those really high sides. It was something like that, and he found a vendor in Tennessee that sold women's panties for cheap, super cheap, and he would every week he'd drive a station wagon in that trailer up to that place in Tennessee. He'd go from Arkansas to Tennessee, and he would fill up that trailer with panties, and he would come back and he'd sell women's underwear, and he'd do like a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 special. He was just crazy in how he promoted the stuff, and people literally, they bought them as soon as he brought them in. They were buying them right off the shelf. He couldn't. He got to the point he could not bring enough in, so he had to work out some distribution and all on actually getting them to the store. But he would stop in. How are they merchandising their items? What are they pricing them at? How is their customer service? What are they doing better than we are? What are we doing better than them? Which would say, all right, so how do if we're doing this better than them, how do we make sure the customers know we're doing this better? So that would be a marketing or advertising thing. And if they're doing somebody's always going to be doing something better than you. So find something they're doing better than you and correct it and make yourself better. And that's the beauty. That's what you need to do with your competition, is you need to research what they're doing better than you, and you need to put that into effect. With pricing, you don't have to be the cheapest guy person in the game. Especially, if your site's cheap, if your presentation's cheap, if you haven't been in business very long, if you don't have as many reviews, then your service does not have a great selling proposition or point for customers. So in that case, you might want to play the cheap game at the start, but you got to be pushing real hard to get reviews, and make sure that site you've got is professional, super professional. And it's all appearance, guys. In junk removal, it's all about appearance and reviews. So get that super professional appearance and image, get lots of great reviews, and then you can start jacking those prices up. You might not do a better job. Junk removal, the actual task of junk removal, it's hard. Most of the companies do it about the same. Now, a lot of customers, what customers want is they want to know somebody is honest, got a good, they've got a good reputation. They're not going to steal from me. They're not going to rape me. They're not going to do just vile things. And really the junk industry kind of has that reputation, or at least it used to. So they want to make sure that you look professional, that you've got a good reputation, and that's all about appearance and reviews. That's your key thing. Have a good appearance, good professional website, and good reviews. And then don't hide information from people too. If they go to your site, I'm noticing more and more franchises. And maybe there's a reason they're doing it, but I'm not going to do it. What they're doing is they're hiding their pricing. And I just know, we haven't tested this, but I just know myself as a consumer, if a damn company won't put their freaking prices on their website, then I'm going on to somebody else that will. I'm researching that company generally before I call them, unless it's an emergency. If it's a plumbing emergency, and I know a plumber, but just if it's some sort of, I don't know who to call, I might call the first company on there, get the hell out of here, get this thing fixed. It's an emergency. Otherwise, though, I'm researching online before I make a call. And these companies are making it, either they're not showing their pricing, or they're making it very difficult to find it. Make your pricing easy to find. Have a lot of great reviews, have a great presentation, and you can raise those prices on up. You can charge more. You might not be able to charge 100% more or 30% more, but you might be able to charge 10 or 20% more potentially. If you have that many great reviews and you have that great of an appearance, you can get away with it. So, one thing you want to look at, do they have an online booking system? Every single junk removal company should have an online booking system. YouCanBook.me. I don't make a penny off that. Hell, they don't charge. There's a free version of YouCanBook.me. And everybody should have an online booking system. It links with your Google Calendar. If a business doesn't, that's an advantage that you might have over them. Now, one of the nice things, if they have only one truck, so they're not running routes, and they have an online booking system, you can actually periodically check and see how busy they are. And that's good information to know. You want, if you're slow, especially, you want to know, are they busy? Why are we busy and they're slow, or why are they busy or especially if you're slow and they're busy, you'd like to know that. I don't know if there's a whole lot of changes you could put into effect to fix that, but I mean, that's something that generally you'll check. You can do if they have an online booking system. Don't book appointments though. Just find out the availability and don't push the appointment through. So again, don't get fixated on your competition to the point where you're not paying attention to what you're doing, because what you're doing is much more important than what your competition's doing. But what your competition is doing better than you is extremely important, and when you find out something they're doing better, it needs to be corrected. If they're doing better website, better social media, whatever, that needs more reviews, then you need to get on that and you need to get it corrected. And that's what we did with JRA. We could have franchised Junk Doctors, and but there's just not really, the problem with all these junk removal franchises is there's nothing really different about them. We're all just, most of us are a model. Whether you want to admit it or not, the majority of junk removal businesses out there are a model of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, or a copy of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, and I'll proudly admit it. Now, there's certain things we do, some demolition work, concrete work, and some other odds and ends, on the Junk Doctors end of things. There are a few things we do that Got Junk does not. I believe wholeheartedly our North Carolina locations, Raleigh, Charlotte, and Greensboro, do better than the Raleigh, or a better customer service than the Raleigh, Charlotte, and Greensboro Got Junks. But that's just because we're more actively involved in managing it and doing a great job. Whereas I'm not sure if they still are, but at one point the locations in North Carolina, it was an absentee owner, a guy out of Michigan. Now, they might have sold them since, but it was a guy out of Michigan, and I just don't think he was on top of what all was going on. He had one manager managing both locations. So, but for the most part, we're a copy of Got Junk. So I can franchise this off. We could sell some Junk Doctors franchises, but how are we different from stand-up guys? How are we different from, Junk King's mostly sold out. College Hunks is mostly sold out. They still have some markets available. Got Junk is sold out. But how are we different from stand-up guys? How are we different from junk luggers? How are we different from, what's the company? A guy that's going with a business system with us was researching a company out of Ohio. I think it's called Junkaway. And J-Dog Junk Removal. 123 Junk. There's just a handful of junk removal companies out there offering franchises that are the exact same, and they don't have national name recognition. There's no national name recognition at all. So, why franchise when we could sell what we know? What we know is that we have the expertise, so we can provide services to new prospective junk removal business owners, as far as full systems, and then we provide supporting systems as well, or like the call center, and then access to national contracts, the CAM, customer acquisition management. We can provide all that to both current business owners as well as prospective business owners, and there's no commitment to us. So as soon as they're able to operate a business without our assistance, if they don't want to use our assistance, they don't have to. Now, the services we provide, I think it would be smart for businesses to use them for years and years and years and years and years, but they don't have to. That's the nice thing about us. And they don't have to use our call center. They don't have to use our call center. Once they'll get to a point they're busy enough that it benefits them to have somebody answer the phones, because that person also answers the phones can also do bookkeeping. Well, in the franchises, they require you to use their call center. A lot of them do anyway. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. And so it provides them with so much flexibility. The amount they're going to pay us in services those fees are going to be less than the royalties up to a certain point. So there's a certain, when first starting out with our business system, we're more expensive if you're using all of our supporting services. We include a lot of it. We include a year's worth of consultation and 3 months of CAM. But once that stuff is expired, we'll be a bit more expensive than royalties. But then once your business has grown, then we're cheaper than the royalties. So, it's just, it was a unique way for us to do something that nobody else has done, and we can help more people. Yes, I do believe we can make more money doing this than selling franchises. I do, because we can help more people. Not that we're getting more money from individuals, but the fact that there's a greater number of people that we have access to that we can provide assistance, help them make more money, help them create a better business to serve their customers, help them gain freedom in their life. That's something that I believe that the JRA is just a much better vehicle to be able to help more people than franchising junk doctors. Nobody knows who Junk Doctors is outside of the state of North Carolina. No customers do. You get no name recognition. Why not have a business that's 100% yours, but partner with a company that's done it before so you can learn what you're doing? You'll ultimately it'll be a lot less money you'll spend when you buy a package from us or partner with us because of the less mistakes you're going to make. So I know this kind of run on almost like this has been a long advertisement for JRA, but I'm just showing you an example. Research your competition, figure out what they're doing, what they're not doing, and what you need to do to provide to better your service and to provide a better service to your customers. Any questions at all, call me on office number 919-466-9322. Email me, lee@junkremovalauthority.com. Please subscribe to this feed. This has been an episode of Trash Talk. It's been a long one, though. This is almost a Junk Removal Made Simple length right here, but I just had a lot to talk about. Hope everybody found a little bit of value. We will have a Junk Removal Made Simple episode coming up on recycling, disposing, and donating your stuff, as well as selling stuff, fixing stuff. When's the right time to sell stuff? When should you just be moving it on so you can get as much jobs done as possible? How do you donate stuff? How do you deal with customers' expected donation receipts when the donation place didn't accept it? All that's going to be covered in this week's episode of Junk Removal Made Simple. It should be coming out it'll be uploaded on YouTube and available on Tuesday. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Hope everybody had a great Easter. Let's have we're kicking off spring here. Spring's coming up, so we all have a very, very busy week. Let's make lots of money, lots of profits, and really blow up our junk removal businesses in 2018.